And welcome to the first ever Apologetically Me podcast. Yay!
Yay!
I'm Maggie.
And I'm Wanda.
And together we're going to talk about why we started this podcast, what our purpose is, and we'll talk a little bit about ourselves. So first I'll do Wanda's intro. Wanda is 24, proudly 24. She rejects being a Gen Z or millennial. She is very happy with no social media, and she's living her life to the fullest. Yay! Thanks for joining us, Wanda.
Thank you. Maggie had this amazing idea to do each other's intros, and it's not a great idea because I have no idea what to say about you. So
you're right. This is hard.
Maggie is 25, and she likes
Please
long
don't
walks on
say
the.
that. Correction.
She is almost 25. Her birthday's somewhere in February. It's coming up. She likes long walks on the beach, and she is currently working someplace.
You know, like when people like fact check afterwards, like after the episode, they're like, "Oh, by the way, I gotta correct stuff." I have to fact check you on like everything you just said. First of all, sometime in February, you don't even know my birthday.
February 4th.
And long walks on the beach. I haven't been to the beach in like 5 years.
Which is why your background is a beach.
Yeah. Please don't cancel us just yet. We're not vacationing. We just didn't want to dox ourselves with our location. We have a very distinctive background.
My background's also very messy. So
oh yeah, that too.
I don't want to show that.
Especially that. So oh, okay. No, you can go.
It's my dad likes to buy paintings when they're on sale from like these retail stores, and we've run out of places to like hang them up in our house, so he's like hung them up like very sporadically across like the wall that's behind me, and it makes no sense. So that's also why this background exists.
You know, I've been painting in my spare time. Would your dad be willing to buy some of my paintings?
Maybe. If you put it like if you put the sticker as like $99 and then discount it down to like $7, he'll definitely buy it. He buys anything for a deal, even though we don't need it.
You know what? Okay, duly noted. The side hustle number 2 coming up. 2021, big things coming for me.
The year of the doing.
The year of the profiting off my crappy paintings. Okay.
They're also
I should also know, yeah, they're by numbers. They're not original. One day. I'm getting there. So basically, why we started this podcast was mostly for 3 reasons. One, when you like have to do one of those intros for class or for work, they're like, tell us a bit about yourself. And you want to impress people, you want to flex on them that you have something cool. This is going to be our cool thing that we can say, whoa, we run a cool podcast. Check us out. But not really, because we might talk about you. So don't do it. So that's reason number 1. Number 2, I think this is a cool outlet for us to talk to each other while capitalizing on this. We think we're funny people, maybe just to us, but let's see if there's an audience for it. Why not?
Yeah, and number 2 especially.
Number 2 is the big one. Yeah, this is really a chance for us to prove
that we're actually funny, to prove to all of our friends that people might actually listen to us talk and they don't find us annoying and they actually find us funny.
And number 3 is also a big one for me, for us to listen back to this and see if we actually have a vocal fry, because I think I kind of do now.
Yeah, never watched. Okay, so there's like a YouTube video, like there's a bunch of YouTube videos, but there's like an explanation on what a vocal fry is. And once you watch that video, you think that you have a vocal fry. And like the next person that you send it to will say, I don't think you have one, but I think I have one. It's like in How I Met Your Mother, where you don't notice something until someone points it out and then you can't stop noticing it. This is exactly what happens. Don't YouTube it.
It's of you.
Yeah, just don't do it. You'll live your life happily knowing that you don't talk like a Kardashian.
I didn't even watch the video you sent me. I was just thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I think I do have a vocal fry. This bums me out.
Until I like listened to that video.
Oh, you know Trisha Paytas?
Yeah.
So she started a podcast too, and like she'll just randomly have vocal fry sometimes, and her co-host will like call her out on it and make fun of her. And she's like, I don't hear it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Is that toxic?
So maybe
Please
it
don't
just
call me
comes
out.
out sometimes.
Please don't
Please
call us
don't
out on
cancel
this.
us just yet. Cancel us maybe like when we're 5 episodes in. Right now we're starting off, so don't cancel us just yet, guys. Okay, so it's been almost a year since quarantine, since work from home, online school, since the world changed forever. Wanda, give us a recap of what's going on in Ontario.
Yes. As many of you might not know where Ontario is. Toronto is the capital of Ontario.
Capital of Canada, actually.
No, it's not. Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Toronto, also known as the South of Canada, I think, as it was referred to in that one tweet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
there was also a tweet where this girl was, there was like a picture of Dundas Square, and this girl was like, wow, Toronto just like trying to be like New York so bad, like the capital of downtown Canada is trying to so hard to be New York City.
I mean, we do kind of try. We try to have that big city vibe in Toronto. But anyways, okay, so in quarantine. So Canada didn't really find out or didn't do anything about the virus until like March 18th-ish area, when like everything closed down. Everyone went to like work from home and everything. And then we had a few good months. Like I think May to July, even like the tail end of August was like we had low cases, like maybe like 100 new cases a day. We even got down to like 30 new cases a day, which was amazing.
Remember
and then
gas prices? Remember how like
yes,
insanely low they are?
but we didn't drive anywhere, so then it didn't even matter. Like I constantly saw like low gas prices when I was out getting groceries or something, and I was like, oh, I'm still on a full tank.
Yeah, but it's not like that anymore. Now it's still like insanely high. I need to go get gas.
Yeah. People are back to work and everything, so that's why
they can't. It's a stay-at-home order.
But it's not. Okay, so then like slowly we got worse. New COVID cases came up. We slowly started to close down again, like region by region, which didn't really work because like they closed down Toronto, and then everyone from Toronto just went to like Niagara Falls or went up north, which wasn't closed until finally everything closed December 28th at the third, or I don't know, second or third stay-at-home order that they enacted. And then recently we just got to double lockdown.
Okay, so anyways, now on to my save topic. How do we feel about celebrities traveling?
Bad.
Nice. Next topic.
Why are people like, okay, so the other day, I think I saw a video somewhere of like these TikTokers, which at this point we'll say they're celebrities, like these famous TikTokers were traveling during the pandemic. And this was not the first time they were traveling, but like, where do you need to go that is like so important to you that you couldn't just wait like a year? Like I want to travel. I'm sure Maggie does too.
Do you know how many times celebrities like Ariana Grande has called out those TikTokers like Noah Beck, Dixie, Charlie, all these minors? Like for some reason they have loads of money that they can take a private jet to the Bahamas and get like a presidential suite or something. I don't know the logistics, but they have the money to do this from TikTok. And they're like constantly going out. Like I don't think they ever stayed at home.
This is why you can't be famous, or like I don't think you should be famous before like a certain age. It's I like maybe if you had like stable parents or like family or something, like someone who took care of you that like could instill like good things to do with your money and bad things to do with your money and not also steal your money.
Ooh,
I think that would be
parents.
Yeah,
that's a pretty common denominator in Hollywood.
Like
but also like Lizzie McGuire, right? Like Hilary Duff, she was in the spotlight for a long time. I don't know what her parents were like. And same with Scarlett Johansson. Like,
was she a young actress?
Yeah, she started when she was super young.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh, today I learned.
And same with Natalie Portman.
Yeah, but she went to Harvard, didn't she?
Yes.
I don't know.
So are you saying like Harvard like looks at you when you're 12 and they're like, Harvard material?
No, but the fact that she was an actress before, they were like, yeah, of course we're going to accept her. Like, I'm sure she's very smart too.
She's so well spoken.
Yeah.
Like, she could say the stupidest thing to me, but I'm like, wow, you're so eloquent. You enunciate everything so well.
That is a superpower. That's one of those like mundane superpowers that I wish I had. Like, if someone asked me, it's like, what is a superpower that you wish you had that you could actually have? Like, it wasn't like a make believe thing. It'd be like being able to like talk well.
To speak coherently. I
Yes,
noticed
that.
too in the corporate world, like guys will do this thing where they like do this. Have you noticed it? Like they put their thumb in like here. It's like a thing Obama does. If you see it, they always do this when they like do
Can you
public
describe
speaking.
it for those who can't see your thumb?
Okay, for those who are blind, imagine
or people who are listening to our podcast, like a podcast.
For people who are
not
listening, okay, so you're like clenching your fist, and then you're putting your thumb on your index finger when you clench it.
So like if you're holding like a detonator or something, but you're pushing, holding it down.
And they always like move it like up and down almost.
That might just be like a twitch.
No, because I have seen many people do this in the corporate Toronto world. I saw Obama do it. A lot of like male politicians do this.
Toronto, Obama.
Corporate. I don't want to out my previous work organization, but corporate Toronto, right?
Okay.
That's like a. I don't want to say corporate America. Corporate Canada doesn't sound as good as corporate America.
Banking industry.
Banking industry, yeah. All those assholes do this. Sorry.
She doesn't actually mean that.
They know what I meant. But yeah, everyone always does. Anyways, I forget what we were talking about, but celebrities traveling.
Bad. Don't do it. Wait, like.
But okay,
your money's not going to
disappear. Thing though, because like we're very selective with who we want to cancel. Because like Chrissy Teigen, I love her. I think she's great. She went through a lot this year, but our girl Chrissy is still traveling.
Is she? But is she traveling for work or is she traveling for leisure?
For leisure.
Okay, that's bad. Yes, I like her. No, I do not stand this decision.
And like so even streamers, like I recently got into a lot of like gaming streams. Yeah, I'm a gamer girl. I play Among Us, but none of my friends will play with me, so I just watch it on YouTube instead. But anyways, all these streamers, they had a girls trip and they like went to Vegas or they went somewhere, and I'm like, none of them are being canceled or called out for it. Like they're okay with it. So where do we draw the line with who do we get to cancel and who do we not get to cancel?
I think there's like a certain, if you can slide under the radar and not get like called out by anyone for it, then that's when you get into the stage of like, oh, we're going to cancel this person. But if you just do it and no one seems to notice it, then you're okay. Like that's.
It makes me like think I'm crazy. Like, oh, am I the only one overreacting about this? Am I the only one who wants to stay at home?
No, I think you raise a really good point. Like it is. It's one of those like, why do some people not get called out and other people do? It just those like it's whatever gets clicks, right? On like news articles or like celebrity blogs or whatever. Like it's Chrissy Teigen, people like her. She's had a rough year. Like you don't want to shit on her even more, kind of thing, as like a news organization. So it's really like pick and choose, which you shouldn't.
God damn.
Regardless,
you shouldn't. But I guess like let's not cancel everyone this year.
Please don't travel.
I'm sure if we were to look at everyone, like everyone is bound to be canceled because of the way they've like acted with COVID. Like we still saw each other in person at one point. We have been to each other's houses at one point.
To be fair, she went to my house to pick something up. Oh,
pre-lockdown, pre-second lockdown. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Like who came up with like 6 feet? Like who knows that taking your mask off while eating is okay? Like will COVID stop? Yeah, so they're just like arbitrary things.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, like I thought about this earlier, where like we're not even the best examples of what you should be doing during a pandemic. Like realistically, you should be staying at home whenever possible. But on the plus side, we aren't the ones who are going on airplanes or like to exotic locations. Like even if you have a private jet, like there's still people that need to fuel and staff it. And like, how do you know that it's going to be clean?
The number of people I know who are traveling right now, like who I personally know, like drives me insane. Like, why? why are you traveling? Like, hello? And why are you seeing me after? Hello? Why? We will be written about in history textbooks, I think. There's going to be a textbook that comes out after this.
I mean, there's so much
And
that's happened.
and you know what? We're going to be like, yeah, I remember this. I didn't die. Like, I'm very thankful that none of my loved ones or like people close to me have been impacted by COVID, or not like physically impacted by COVID, like physically got COVID. Like, I'm very fortunate about that. But everything else, like, people are still getting laid off, like their jobs are being impacted, like, you know, like a bunch of shit has happened since COVID. Like, these are not the great times, but they are getting better.
Anyways, we kind of like went kind of far from like our original point, but
Basically, celebrities travel bad.
yes.
Okay, so let's just skip right to it. What are you watching right now on Netflix?
So Maggie recently got me into Bling Empire on Netflix,
Yes.
which I personally, okay, so I was watching the trailer before I watched it, and there was a lot of people saying like, why is Netflix so tone deaf? Why do we need like another reality TV show about rich people, especially during a time when so many people are like losing their jobs or losing their benefits and everything? And it's called escapism. Like, you watch it to
Yeah.
kind of like just look like, I don't know, you know that you're not going to ever really get to that lifestyle. Like,
There's
these
a
are
meme that's like, you know, like that person fighting each other in the mirror. It's like deleting my social media, like wanting to stay informed with everything. It's like that thing.
yeah, you're never going to please everybody. But I recently really started loving reality TV like last year. That's the other thing that's
Nice.
changed. So I watched Love is Blind in February.
Honestly, that was a cultural reset. Like, that also changed my mind too about reality television. That got me to start watching The Bachelor.
I have not watched The Bachelor, but I've watched like every other reality TV show that Netflix has produced. So go Netflix for single-handedly getting me through this pandemic.
Honestly, like, they're cashing it in. Like, they're what, releasing a new show or movie every week? They've been doing that before, I think, for 2020. Like, I feel like something new was always coming out,
Yeah.
and they're just really good at preparing. Like, Bling Empire was filmed like 2019, I think was when it was filmed.
Yeah.
So, like, no COVID regulations were broken. If anything, it makes me sad because they're having all these great parties. And also, like, people are only like, why are they complaining about Bling Empire, like a reality TV show? Like, this
You
is the
know
first reality
why.
TV show of Asians. Like,
You know
this
why.
is good representation to show that no, not all Asians are like great. Okay,
I
they're
thought
like
you're
okay people,
I thought you
but
were gonna say representation of Asians can be rich too.
yeah, Asians can be rich too. Asians can be stupid. Asians can be downright bad, petty, like all these things that white people can do. We can do too.
Right.
Equality, you know?
Yeah, that's what we're promoting on this podcast. Equality. Everyone can be dumb.
Equality. Anyways, it's a great show. Everyone there has a new face. The only guy I respect though is Kane and kind of Kevin. Like, Kevin's smart. I don't even know how he got into that friend group,
Yeah, he's not
but
really
like,
rich.
no, he's like okay good looking. He's just a model.
Is he
Sorry, not
there?
just.
Is he there as like the token model, token good looking guy?
Yeah, probably because the rest of them aren't that good looking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah,
Like, they're objectively not good looking. And I know they got a lot of stuff done, so I
yeah.
shouldn't be one to shit talk, but it's like, ugh.
Do you think Christine's husband, like Dr. Chu, did a lot of their work?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're all friends, right? And okay, spoiler alert, at the party, she's like giving out like free Botox.
Yeah.
She's Oh, were you already there?
No, I'm not there. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But they're giving out free Botox. Like, her husband runs like that plastic surgery clinic, and he does like rejuvenation. Like, he tightens their pelvic floor sometimes. Like, he'll tighten like their
Mhm.
ass, like stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, yeah,
I guess like
they're
it's
friends with
cheap.
benefits.
I mean, it's not like they need discounts or anything, but at least you know someone and you trust them. So good for them. But anyways, okay, a great show. I'm only 2 episodes in. I think Maggie's almost done.
I am done.
Okay.
It was only 8 episodes, but
Oh,
it's okay. The first like 5 episodes, there's literally nothing. Like they got in a fight over this stupid petty necklace that I still don't really understand. So to
yeah.
recap, Anna, the former queen of Beverly Hills, is feuding with the current queen of Beverly Hills over a necklace
Yeah,
that they
because
both have.
yeah.
That's it.
It's like once you're so rich, you don't really have anything else to fight about. It's over
You
these
just
like
like make up your
small
own
things.
problems.
Yeah. And it's like you have so much time on your hands because I mean, I'm pretty sure both of these women don't do a whole lot like work wise. Like they do charities
Yeah.
and stuff and like they take care of their like kids and everything, but like day to day, I think they're pretty free. So I guess when you have the time and you're that type of person, then
You know what's great to me though? It's like you have all this time, but it's still like, oh, taking care of my child? No, I have like 3 other nannies for that. Like, no responsibility, thanks.
Asian representation, even if it's in not
Yeah,
the
and it's
best
like not
form.
even focused on one ethnicity. It's like
Yeah.
there's Korean in there, there's Vietnamese, Chinese,
Yeah.
Cantonese, Mandarin. I think they touch on Japanese
Yeah. Anna's half Japanese. She
and
has really good
Cherie.
looking kids. Her
I
2
didn't
sons are
see her
cute.
kids.
There's like a
Damn.
there's like
Wait.
2 pictures that they put up in the first episode, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
her
okay.
kids
I
are
remember
cute.
the first one, and I read about one of her sons, like Kenny or something, on an article, and he's like a self-proclaimed stoner. Like his bongs could go for millions of dollars.
I mean,
I'm
like,
not like a stoner, but who is buying $1 million bongs?
I guess there's like collections for everything, right? His thing is just
I
bongs.
guess, yeah. Like, does being a does having $1 million bong make you better than a guy who has a bong for $20?
I don't. Not necessarily. It's like the same with shoes, right? Does having $1 million pair of shoes make you better than someone who has
Small price to
$20?
pay for self-esteem, okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's just whatever. Like he's rich, right? So he just ends up
Yeah.
collecting it for fun, and that's his hobby.
They truly have like a unique lifestyle because even Anna was saying like my dad didn't want me to ever work.
Yeah.
So I just pick up what I can for fun. And I'm like,
That's
damn.
sexism, though.
Yes, but like, damn. What a life.
Yeah, we're now to the point where if I have kids, they're both going to work, even if I'm rich.
They're working young. Like I had to work young. You guys are working young too. Sorry.
Yeah. So, anyways, what are you watching?
I almost don't want to share this. Do you remember the little show I was telling you about?
Which one?
This animated one?
Oh my god.
Okay, so I finished Bridgerton, which I still recommend you watching.
Yeah, I'll watch that after.
I finished I'm almost done The Great. I finished Bling Empire last night. I don't know, I just procrastinated because I took up cross stitching when I watched it, and then I had to stop it. So then I stopped watching The Great. But anyways, I needed something to like clear my mind, so I watched Class of the Titans. For anyone who had cable and watched Teletoon as a kid, Class of the Titans, for those who don't know, Class of the Titans is like this Canadian show. It's these 7 teens who are descendants of Greek gods, and they're like the chosen ones, and they have to defeat the god of time, which is Cronus. And there's like so many plot holes. Like Cronus could literally like kill them immediately, but for some reason he can't. But anyways, it's a good show. It's all on YouTube. Check it out.
I wouldn't call that anime. That's a cartoon.
No, it's not anime. It's an animated
okay.
show.
I heard like I got into an anime and I was like, oh no.
No, I mean not that that's bad, but I can't pick up an anime right now.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mindset. I did though. I watched all of Naruto.
How many episodes is that? Or like how many seasons?
There's a lot because Naruto, like the first Naruto, like pre-Shippuden, is already like 10 seasons. And that's like 22 something episodes each season. So I used that to work out. And then I got into Naruto Shippuden, which is like another like 12 seasons, each again with like 20 episodes. all of them were bangers. Great. So many filler episodes, but like I can't afford to be hooked on another show again.
Yeah. Like looking back now. Ooh. Looking back
Another
now,
topic.
which is our next topic.
Nice. Aging. I don't know her. I think that was the topic I had.
Yes.
So do you feel like, so they say that like your mid 20s or young 20s or something, you're like finally coming out of your shell, like you're financially stable in some sort of sense, like your parents see you as an adult because you're in your 20s, you're going out to the world. Do you feel like you're living in your golden years?
Like, what are your golden years?
I don't know, like in shows or like when you talk to like boomers and they're always like, huh, I remember those days back when I was in my 20s. I was having the time of my life.
Oh,
But they
no.
never like go into like what they did. Like, were they just doing a bunch of cocaine?
Maggie's the type of person who asks people to peer pressure her into doing drugs. Like, she's always like, why don't you offer me drugs ever?
Okay, well, like we spent an entire, so in Canada, you have to go through the DARE program, and they eventually canceled this program. Okay, so DARE is like it's run by a bunch of cops, and they basically tell you like don't do these drugs. If someone offers it to you, don't do it. Don't drink. Don't like do random stuff. And they introduce you to all these drugs. And then that program was so ineffective because it introduced so many types of drugs to people that they had to cancel the program. So I wasted like half of my 10-year-old life. I don't know. It was like 10 or 11 when I was in grade 6. But anyways, I wasted half that time learning about all these drugs, prepared. No one offers me any drugs. So you can understand where I'm coming from when I'm like, how come you guys didn't offer me like drugs in high school? No one's offered me a single weed.
We also went to like a pretty sketchy high school. Like, we had a
Yeah, there were
hallway.
cops at our school. Like, do you remember that undercover cop?
I
He
actually
was
don't.
like, okay, so he did a guest lecture for us, and he clearly looks like he was 50 years old, but he came dressed like he was 16, and it was really disturbing to see. And I'm like, you're a really bad undercover cop.
How much school did I skip in high school? I don't remember this at all.
I'll tell you what class it was later,
Okay.
but yeah, it was a pretty funny class.
Maybe I just thought he was some like random teacher or parent that it was
Just blended into you're like, whoa, he was truly it's like Perry the Platypus.
I don't understand that reference, but I'm sure it's funny.
No, okay. From Phineas and Ferb,
yes, I understand
Perry the
that.
Platypus, when he doesn't have a hat on, he's just a platypus. When he puts his hat on, it's Perry the Platypus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I understand that now.
Thank you. Okay, it's not as funny when I have to explain it to you.
I don't watch that many cartoons.
Okay. Anyways, do you feel like you're in your golden years? Do you feel like you're approaching them? Like, when do you feel like your golden years are?
I always say that life ends at 40.
Oof. Sorry to any 40-year-olds out there.
For me, because I want to retire by the time I'm 40 and be able to like actually live my life. So my golden plan is to work so hard from like when I graduate to my 40s that I burn out, but I have enough money to sustain me for the rest of my life.
I think I am realistic enough to know that, not that like retiring at 40 is unrealistic, but I'm saying like for my skill set, I think I will be working for a very long time.
I think you'd want to work for a very long time too.
What is that supposed to mean?
Like, I think you're just that type of person that would be like, oh, I'm bored if I don't have any work to do. Like, you're a lot like my mom.
Calling me your mom now? What the hell?
No, I'm just saying.
Hate it here.
She's always talking about how she can't wait to retire, but then like she has really
That's my mom too.
Like, she doesn't really do a lot outside of work, and like she likes moving up and like earning more money, so that it's like what I feel. Can't have both.
You know what it is? I blame like the Asian mom like mentality, because my mom's like the exact same way. She's like, I can't wait till I retire. Like, I'm so excited for it. And then she broke her arm, literally goes to work the next day. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. No, nothing much. And I'm like, don't you want to like relax? Like, take a few days off. It's fine. She's like, no, I'm going to be bored all day.
Tell the story of how your mother broke her arm.
She went hiking. Okay, so let me weave you a tale. The night before was raining and snowing. So when you go hiking on the trail, it's very icy. So she and her friend decide to go hiking, and she decides to take a big step and slips and falls, and she uses her elbow or arm to catch herself. So as she fell, like her elbow like shifted forward and broke her wrist. So her elbow was dislocated, her wrist is broken, and she's just like, "Oh, ow, this kind of hurts." And her friend was like, "Let's go to the hospital just in case." And she's admitted, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, everything's broken. Why did you go hiking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, also, why did you do that, mom? That's a good question." And she's like, "Haha, that's just me."
Do you feel like your 20s is the golden years?
It makes me upset if this is my golden years, because why am I still getting acne then? Why am I still getting pimples?
People get
That's the
pimples into
part.
their 40s.
That's that is illegal. That should be illegal. Like your body should stop doing that shit. Like I thought that was a puberty thing. But still, like I'm a grown adult. What am I doing with a pimple on my face? Like I'm not trying to show that like I can't take care of my skin.
Oh my god, do you remember when we were younger and like if you had pimples or anything, like people would always come to you and be like, "Oh, you just need to wash your face."
Yes, holy crap, that was so annoying. Or like they'd always point out pimples to you.
Yeah, it's like, "Okay, thanks."
Like I
It's not,
have a mirror.
yeah.
Like
It's not like I can't see this
thanks.
massive thing on my face.
Like thank you for this.
Yeah,
I owe you my life.
I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. Like you telling me isn't going to make it go away.
Maybe it's like them trying to feel better about themselves. Like, oh my god, I would never have a pimple.
Still terrible though.
Yeah, that's still pretty terrible. But I don't know if I don't think these are my golden years. I think my golden years are still to maybe the whole life is supposed to be a golden year.
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
that
why
beautiful
limit
of me
it
to
to
say that?
like 10 years?
Yeah, like I think that's kind of sad. Okay, no. Boomers are always like university was your golden years. If
No.
university was my golden years, I'm going to kill myself now. Sorry if that was dramatic, but like you were living in like an alternate time dimension when you're in school. It's like
Yeah.
you brag about how how you have sleepless nights. You're bragging about your shitty diet of how many cavities or coffee you have. Like it's like an alternate time dimension.
I hate that. So when did we decide that like bragging about like not sleeping or like staying up all night to do assignments is like good? Like why does that give you any kind of like I don't know, like why is that good? Like why
I
is
think it's like an innate thing because I find myself doing it too, where it's like, oh, I'm so tired. You know, when you complain to your mom and your mom was like, you think you're tired? I had to work like 16 hours. I had to do this. And like, I do that to Nick too all the time. So
you
maybe it's like
are working
you want to show.
16?
So maybe like you just want to show to the other person like why you have it worse.
Yeah, I guess
But I
so.
think in the university world or postgraduate whatever world, it's to show like how much better you are for suffering.
Yeah. I it really is. It's just like, oh, I'm so bad at time management.
That's so sad.
If you're in university now and you're listening to this, it's like do not waste sleep. Like if you have the opportunity to sleep or go do something else, like go to bed. Like there's
It's
always
like it's like a toxic relationship
yes,
though.
but there's also like society reinforces it too because people are like, "Oh, you should not go to sleep. You can sleep like the rest of your
Mm.
life, but when are you going to be able to like have this like one opportunity to go out?" Like you don't
But
have a
like
lot of
no,
opportunities to go
sleep
out.
is good for you. Like
Yeah.
you need sleep to function.
Still sleep at 8 hours. That's my big thing. So like I'm very anti productivity books. I'm very like anti productivity tips. So like the thing that I hate most about it is the fact that people are like CEOs only sleep till 5 a.m. or CEOs wake up at like 3 or 4 a.m. or something. And like that's how
Oh my
like
god.
that's the advice that you give to
Do
people who
you do you remember seeing Mark Wahlberg's workout schedule?
yeah.
Like his day-to-day schedule? Like he wakes up at 2 a.m., goes to bed at 5 p.m. Like a fucking
Why?
psycho.
Like just go like live on the other side of the world then if you're going to do this.
Like, do you the thing is he has like 6 kids or something.
Jesus.
Like, do you expect your poor wife to like pick up the slack? Or maybe they just have hired help, but you basically don't see your dad until like for a couple hours after school.
His like thing was like wake up, work out, eat,
golf.
Work. Oh.
He works for like a little bit. He like there's like a weird time gap in there where it turns out that he actually spends like an hour and a half showering or something.
What?
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna be
really
pruning.
funny.
Your skin's gonna fall off, man.
It's really funny. And he also has access to a cryo chamber somehow. Like I thought that was something only Walt Disney had access to. Like you know that myth where they froze his head?
Yeah, myth.
Disney, if you're hiring me, I won't expose your secrets.
Yeah, it's totally not a conspiracy theory. But that's like the whole thing. Like people who really probably shouldn't have kids. If your day is dedicated to like 100% you or like 95% you and you have young kids, like maybe
reevaluate.
Yeah. I mean, you can't now because you already have 6 kids, but like,
it's not too late. Just give those kids away.
Do not give away your children, please.
At the age of 16, let's give away my kid.
Maybe at 18. Oh, that's the other thing. I hate it when parents, like, someone turns 18 and they're like, well, we're going to kick them out of the house. Like, what? Like, what happened from 17
I saw that
to 18?
on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, similar question to you. When you turned 20, did it feel like a weird milestone for you? Were you like, yes, I'm in my 20s. I'm hot and cool now.
I had like an existential crisis when I like on my 20th birthday, because when I was younger, I never imagined myself living past 19. Like when you're younger, you don't think about like
I see what you mean now.
living to like a certain age. For me, it was like, oh, being able to drink, party, or whatever. Like I thought that was so cool because like all the movies and everything. So I was 19. I did my fair share of like whatever. And then the day I turned, like on my birthday when I was turning 20, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like, what is this? Like, I never thought I'd make it this far. Like, I got really depressed at work that day. And then like, I got over it eventually, but like, I had to like, there was like this big hurdle that I had to like step through of like, so yeah, I did feel turning 20. Long story short.
You felt the negative effects of aging at 20.
Yeah.
Is that a midlife crisis?
I feel like
you're gonna have a short life. I'm sorry.
Life ends at 40.
Not good proof of that.
So like, yeah, I think I definitely did feel like a difference, but like not really like responsibility wise or like trying to get my life together or anything like that. But you?
I don't remember what I did for my 20th. Me, I feel like I've always been old. Like I've always felt like I've been an old person. So every time I age, I'm like, I'm becoming my truer self every time I age. But the other day I felt like I was having a midlife crisis. No, I feel like I have a midlife crisis like once a year. Okay, side note, I didn't realize Mr. Beast was younger than me, and that like really bums me out.
He's like 20, right?
He's 22.
Oh, okay, that's older than
What the hell? He's like 2 years younger than me, almost 3 years younger than me.
A lot of YouTubers are now younger than us. We missed our
What the hell? So I'm like bummed out that all these people are so successful, but also I don't want to compare myself. But all these younger people, like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's always like, I think a lot of like people who are in their 30s, 40s, etc., like they look at people who are in their 20s and be like, wow, they're so successful. Like it's the same thing. I think the age just changes as you grow older.
Yeah, I think your 20s, like you're still a baby. Like you're old, but you're a baby. Like when I was younger, I always saw like 20-year-olds as like such an adult thing. Like, wow, you must know exactly what you're doing. Like you're so old. And they looked way older to me too. But now I like look in the mirror, I'm like, I think I look like 17, 18 tops.
Yeah. Your perception changes. Because like when you're younger, like they were like what, like 10 something years older than you. But now it's like not like you've gone through the stages. Like so more perspective.
The trauma has aged me.
Oh God.
Okay, so our next segment, I'm going to be sharing some advice that TikTok shared with me. So basically, there's a trend right now on TikTok where this girl, I forget her username, but she's asking people to share what advice they have for someone in their 20s or advice they would give to themselves if they were 20. So in the true essence of 20-year-olds. That really bums me out that we're almost in February.
They say that when you turn 25, it's when your personality pretty much cements itself. So,
well, fuck. Oh, okay. I think there's one that you might agree with, but I don't agree with. Okay.
Okay.
Advice for your 20s. Some of you are not going to like this one very much. Stop posting on your stories so much. I want you to think about why are you really posting? It's most likely because you're seeking validation from other people. First, let's be in the moment more. We don't need to put everything on our story. Second, let's stop seeking validation from outside sources. Our own validation should be enough. Advice for your 20s.
Okay. Harder said than done. But okay, so context, I guess. Like, I like to post food pictures on my stories a lot, like whether I'm baking them or I'm going out to eat, which has actually come back and been a good thing, because there's been a lot of times where I've been like, oh, I really like this food place, but I don't remember the name. So what I do is I go back to my stories and I go look for it, and then I recommend it to people who are like going to that vacation place or whatever. So
when I post stories, like, I completely agree too. Like, I only started posting more only because like I stopped going out because of COVID. Because for one thing, I'm not posting for other people. I'm posting it for me. Like, I like looking at it. Whenever I post a story, I go back to my story and I look at it like at least 50 times because I like looking at it. I think it's cool. Like, I don't really care if other people don't like it or not. And I know other people don't care because I don't care about their stories. So
I do care. So
you care when people
wait.
look at it?
I not that people look at it, but I care like if like people who post like other food stories, like I like that. Like I like looking for new places to eat. And if I see
Yes.
someone
Okay.
who went to
Good
somewhere
point.
where I liked, I would be like, oh, that's like I want to go there too, which is what I'm trying to do with my stories as well.
You're
Inspiration.
trying to become a food influencer? Remember we tried that?
Yeah.
That was tough.
Go follow Blurry Food Blog.
I don't even know the password to that anymore. So like, don't follow it. Or if you do follow it, try to hack us, please.
Is there any advice that you would give yourself 10 years ago when you were
I have a shit
15?
ton of advice. I think the big thing is to, I don't know, I really wish that I could go back in time and tell myself to like legit like treat your body like a temple, like develop better eating habits, like start getting more fit, like start early, go for walks. Like, I love walks now. And because I can't go because it's so cold, it kills me. But yeah, just like eat healthier. I think that was a huge thing. I think it was tough because at the time my parents were still together and we were eating like traditional like Vietnamese foods, and like Asian foods just has like a shit ton of rice. And
Yeah,
rice in general like isn't that great for you, and like now I've cut out basically all rice. But I think it's just like, yeah, just going back and telling yourself to develop healthier habits.
Yes.
Because you can never be too, actually no, this is a catch-22 because I felt like I was very restrictive when I was younger because I've always like been that like chubby like fat girl growing up. So
you were like very thin in high school.
I only got thin when I was like 13.
Like very thin when you were 14.
People were still calling me fat when I was 14.
Insane. You were very thin.
I was called fat my whole life. Like 14 was probably the one time. There was only 1 year where I remember people stopped calling me fat. And then even after that, like every single moment I was called fat.
Terrible.
But basically, because like you're a girl growing up, like, I don't know, were your family like very against you? That's my printer going off. Was your family like ever against you like eating sugars, or like my mom would like take away desserts from me? Like it was stuff like, not that she'd take it away from me, but she would discourage me from eating like bad foods.
Yeah, it was more vocal for me. Like, oh, are you sure you want seconds? Or like
fuck you, yes I do.
Are you still like, you're still eating? Or like, isn't that too much? But then like if you don't eat, then they're like, oh, why aren't you eating? So it's very like,
what do you, just tell me what you want me to do. I'll be your puppet. Just tell me. But I think it was like I realized this, but as soon as I got my freedom, like my ability to drive, like the first thing I would do was always get fast food or like takeout or something. Because I was like, oh my God, I never got to eat this when I was younger. Like, now that I have my own money, I can, like, go eat, like, poutine as much as I want. Like, wonder what Harvey's tastes like. Now I know. Wonder what Airheads are doing. They're doing great. I just ate them. So I think that was the whole thing. So if I could go back, I'd tell myself to chill and that you have the rest of your life ahead of you to eat all those foods.
Yeah, I think it's just like you're still exploring, right?
Yeah.
Like, like you have to go through, like, I don't want to say like you have to go through that to like get to where you are now, but like I feel like you need to try certain things to be like, oh, this isn't for me. But like, I mean, don't binge.
Okay, time for me. Well, I mean, I don't need to try drugs to know that it's
not like that. Like,
I don't need to try a lot of things to know they're not for me.
Okay, maybe that's okay. Yeah, I take that back. I'm sorry, that was bad advice.
But I know what you mean. It's like a life experience that now I have learned. Where I'm like, yes. Okay, I can do this.
But you never would have learned it if you never were where you were when you were 14.
Yes, exactly.
Which is like, then it's just like, why would I give any advice to when I was 14? This is if I ended up how I am now. So it's like I must have done something right along the way.
That's good thinking. Would you give advice to yourself when you're 14 or 15?
I think like no, I don't even want to say that. I'd really
the one you had prepared.
I thought against it, and then I thought against another thing. The other thing was going to be like try harder in school, but then I was like, had really bad senioritis in like grade 9.
Same.
Yeah.
But it's always like second semester for me that I just like skip a lot.
Like second semester of high school or second semester of like university?
Second semester of everything. High school, university, like that was just the time where I would just like start skipping, like making excuses to find a way to get out of things.
Yeah, we played a lot of cards in the library in grade 12. Like we would be at school.
Escapism.
We would just not go to class. And this was like not even after like university applications were like done or finalized or something. Like this was before.
During.
Yeah.
Before, during.
I don't know. It's just make good friends. Like that's not the advice that like I would need to tell myself, because I think like I'm still in touch with a lot of people that I was friends with in high school, and I think those are the friends like Maggie. I was friends with Maggie in high school that I carried forth to like even now 10 years later. So I think it's like make a good support system for yourself. Like
that's actually one of the TikTok things I was going to share, but I decided against it because I thought we would agree with it too much.
No. Well,
but it's good that you
now I just feel cheap.
Wow, you belong on TikTok. No, it was like get a good group of for one thing, they said get a good group of like 2 to 3 friends, but another one said to get a good group of like girlfriends, or like have like a couple good girlfriends.
I don't think it matters what the gender is. I think you should just have good friends. Like have friends that are not superficial, who support you, but also can like give you advice and help you, and not just like, oh my god, you're so pretty always. You know, like not fake, like not
okay,
not fake friends.
I want you to tell me I'm pretty. Can you be both and tell me I'm pretty? Like, is that too much to ask?
Yeah, but like not the type that always like, I don't want to like, you don't want friends that lie to you all the time.
This is like how you can't get a guy who is good to you and your family and who can't be hot either.
Lower your expectations for female friends. But yeah, I think that's the most consistent thing from like 14 till now. Yeah,
I think even if I were to tell myself like make better friends, like eventually you'll find out along the way like who your real friends are. It's not like anything bad happens, it's just like over time. Like I think time is the biggest obstacle when you're trying to keep or maintain your friendships.
Agreed. Because like I went through a few different friend groups, like because we both went to the same high school, but we weren't like, we knew each other, but we weren't immediately friends. Like
I thought your name was Cynthia.
Yeah. So like I don't like, I think in grade 9 I had like a different set of friends, and then like second semester I was like close to other people, and then like each year it would like kind of change. But like I never really stayed in touch with any of those people, and I don't now. But Maggie has been, I guess, consistently there.
No,
So
you're gonna make me cry. I don't know like what it is. Do you think it's like something that both of us go out of our way? Do you think it's like one person?
No.
Like what circumstances keep people close to each other?
For us, the thing that ties us is that we both like chat a lot online.
We're both E personalities.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of people who don't know how to text. Like they're
oh
great.
My god, so many people.
Yeah, so
you're actually like the most responsive person.
Exactly. Same with you.
Like it's actually insane. Like so many people. Okay, at this point, I think it's like rude if you don't reply to a text within like a day, because I know you're always on your phone.
Yes. I mean,
like why? I mean, I know there are reasons not to reply, but it's like if we're still friends and there's nothing going on between us, reply to me.
Yeah.
Also, if I haven't replied to you, I'm sorry.
Maggie, who forgot to reply for at least a day. There's times where you just miss things. Like that's okay. But if you're consistently not replying, like I'm not going to go out of my way to reach out to you.
Would 14-year-old me be proud of me? I don't know. Like physically, probably not.
Yikes.
I don't know. Like, I think when I was 14, I had no idea what I was going to be doing at 24. Like, what I was going to go into. I thought I was going to go into the sciences for the longest time, and business was like a no in my family. So,
you sure showed them.
I sure showed my family. I'm throwing away your dreams, Mom. I like to think that 14-year-old self would be proud of me. I think 14-year-old self me was also very judgmental though. And yeah, 14-year-old me was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think.
Agreed. For me.
Oh, okay. I thought you said for me, and I was like,
you.
oh, okay. Didn't think we were gonna attack each other
call
today.
Me Cynthia.
Yeah, but not to your face. Just to people around you.
She used to talk behind my back.
Hey, would 14-year-old self be proud of you?
Would your 14-year-old self?
Would your 14-year-old would just a 14-year-old be proud of you?
Randomly. I assume you meant my own 14-year-old self, and I think
Thank you.
I think 14-year-old self me had a lot of self-confidence issues that I've been able to work through, and I think I'd be proud of myself.
Aw, that was nicer than both of ours.
Yeah, mine was sad.
Mine was sad too.
But I think girls are just
more judgmental.
Sad yeah.
I wouldn't say we're sadder. We're just more judgmental.
Like even now, I stay away from all 14-year-old girls.
Yeah, school children are vicious.
They're sociopaths.
They are.
Because they know what they're saying is wrong, but they're like, I'm going to say it anyway.
They know how to get to your insecurities, and they'll target them. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm just a little kid. They know what they're doing.
This is like another form of slut shaming.
For children?
But like mentality wise, like they know what mind games are playing with me. I know exactly what they're doing.
When you're like 10 years old, I think they like, if you know what you're saying is bad.
You just need the consequent like a negative reinforcement to remind you why you can't continuously being an asshole.
Yes, and some people never get that and then turn out to be adult assholes.
That's why a lot of comedians are like, we all need to be bullied a little bit.
Yes, I agree. 100%. I think you should grow up ugly because you really get like perspective.
You get a better personality.
Yeah, that too.
Ugly.
Yeah, you tend to be funnier.
Yeah, because now like if I see a good-looking person, I'm like, you're either going to be like very hard to talk to, or you're going to have a really bad sense of humor.
Yeah, you never grew up with hardship. Not the kind
we different lives.
Okay, with that, so the question was, would 14-year-old you be proud of yourself right now?
Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, send us an email at apologeticallymegirls apologeticallymegirls@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at amgirlspodcast. Follow us on TikTok at apologetically me podcast. We're your hosts, Wanda and Maggie. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.